Series 7. My Mistake. It all started when I decided to look for deliverance because of my supernatural experiences. It was becoming serious, and I started becoming afraid because I felt it was not normal to be seeing things in people. I was confused because I didn't have anyone to talk to. When I was still in my father's house, my dad didn't allow us to have friends. He always told us to play with our sisters. My father was a strict man. When I got admission into Unilag diploma, I kept a lot to myself. So when I got accommodation, I discovered that there was a deliverance church at the back of the University of Lagos. Sincerely, my experience increased daily. Then I tried to attend the youth church first. I joined the choir because I so much love music, and I started singing the alto part. I kept a lot to myself and didn't tell the leaders there or the youth pastor. I was a very shy person that when I was given the opportunity to sing, my hands would shake as if I had entered cold water. Then it happened again. But this time, I met a guy in the university days. He became my best friend, and his parents were big lecturers in the university. In fact, he introduced me to his mum, and his mum loved me so much. In fact, I have never felt such love before. When this guy comes to visit me in my hostel, he would buy a lot of foodstuffs and provisions for me. His parents are well-to-do, so he would drive me around. While we were in his car, he would give me a cuss. Immediately, I would hear a soft voice telling me that I want to use your voice. Stop it. I would look around and I wouldn't see anyone. I was wondering who was talking to me. Please note that this is my true life story, and I'm not exaggerating. I am sharing my story because the inspiration has been coming every day, finding myself waking up in the early morning to start writing. One day he drove me to his parents' house, and it happened that his mum was not around. As I decided to look around his house, I came into his room and saw his laptop and decided to check it. At just a click, I saw that he had been watching PRN. All of a sudden, he came in and I quickly dropped the laptop like I was just sitting. To my very own eyes, the guy began to undress. I thought maybe he just wanted to change his clothes. Chai. He pulled off his shirt, 1, pulled off his trousers, 2, and the last one was the innerwear. Truthfully, I didn't know whether to run or not. Seriously, what was running through my mind was, maybe he wants to change his clothes. God gave me a sign to check his laptop, but I was not sensitive, and that was the sign. Many of us have been given signs, but we are waiting for the voice of God. I remembered that my dad was always telling us that no man should touch us in any part of our body, and told us then that he was going to enroll us in martial arts. And in my school department, I have started to learn a little bit of martial arts karate. If you see the way I pushed that guy, Chai, it looked like a power came upon me. I ran busted out of his room with speed. He kept calling my name, running after me naked till he could not keep up with my speed. Then he stood on the balcony shouting, "Yewande, I am sorry." I was already running to my hostel when his mum saw me on the road and stopped and said, "Yewande, what happened? Why are you running?" I told his mum nothing, and the mum was such a loving mum. And he told me to get into her car, and I tried to give an excuse, so that is how she drove me back to her house and parked at the garage. She kept telling me to tell her what happened, and I told her to ask her son. I didn't want to go with her into the house. I cooked up a lie that I needed to do something in school that was how I escaped, and I never returned to him. He looked for me, and even the mum, I kept hiding. He saw me one night, going to the new church Wednesday service. He stopped to beg me, and I said, "I will never return to you." So I took the church services seriously. Then one day in my room, the experience started again while I was just singing to God. A great light appeared. It became many and started forming shapes of persons, like I could not see their faces. I never knew that that is what was called angelic visitation. The lights were so bright and piercing into my spirit. I was looking for a way to run out of my room, but I became more scared. The next day was a Sunday, and something kept telling me to go early to church, that I should not miss praise and worship. When I got into the youth church, during the praise and worship, I was at the choir stand. All of a sudden, the great light came again, and I could not control it. It pierced into my spirit like there was a refining process. I just saw myself appear in the spirit realm, thousands of angels. In the midst of the angels, a glorious being walked in, and they parted into 2 for him, like the story in the Bible that they laid leaves for him to pass so his feet won't touch the ground. I hope you remember, something similar to that. And he looked so beautiful, piercing into my spirit, that I could not look at his face. I can't forget that powerful experience. He started speaking through my mind, and I was answering him through my mind, telling me what I should be doing and all that. All this while, I never knew time had passed, and that in the earthly realm they had finished praise and worship. I was shivering in the physical realm, and before you know it, they had taken me out of the church and started binding and binding. As they were binding, I didn't know when I started prophesying to the youth pastor that is praying that he does not have fire or power in him. I was just talking, and the pastor felt embarrassed. After that experience, they called me privately after church and told me that I won't be able to join the choir again, that I should go for deliverance and be delivered from the powers of my father's house. I was stigmatized from that moment, and people didn't come close to me. I was seen as someone who had foundational problems. I felt bad, and I started thinking, is this the way Christians are? Beloved, this was what pushed me to see the GO, and this is where the story just started. To be continued, #TrueLife, #TrueStory, Yewande Roberts.